Are you the type of guy that stammers when he's talking to women in every situation that he feels nervous? Then this video is for you. I actually have a lot of clients who in conversation they try to find their words, and they don't really know what to say, how to say it, and it really gives a vibe of inconfidence. And truly there is a level of genetics in there. Some languages have this more than others, probably those that are a little more complicated for the verbalization, such as German, Slavic languages, Baltic languages. I found that my clients from there have this problem more often, but it's actually really easy to fix. Most of the time, this problem of stammering, not finding what to say, having problems to fluently articulate, which sometimes happen to me too, usually comes from two factors. The first one is a difficulty to express yourself, a difficulty to find words, to know exactly what you want to say, and to have a very fluid way of communicating. This comes usually for guys that work in offices or work at home and spend 90% of their day, if not all day long, being alone and not talking to anybody. Because then they basically stop having the habit of listening to their own voice, and whenever they speak, it feels weird. It's like you have a sound when you're expressing yourself, which usually you do only with your thoughts, that is interrupting. It perturbs the normal flow of thinking. So articulating becomes a blockage. And the second aspect is when most guys, don't talk a lot, they develop this habit of being very self-conscious and being very aware of their flaws. So whenever something doesn't go well, it blocks them. So overall, this is psychological. Obviously, it can go back to your social environment, how you're treated. Usually guys that have been bullied have this problem. I used to have it too. Stammering is definitely not something easy to handle, but as I told you in this video, I promised to give you an exercise to work on that problem very seriously. We actually dive very deep into this in my program, my mentoring program. But the first step is pretty simple, and that's one that I always give to everybody, and it usually just improves everything. And don't really try to understand why, but every single day, take your phone, as I'm doing right now, and just record yourself. Speak for 1 minute straight in front of that camera. Usually the best way is just to look around, pick one thing, and talk about one topic. And every single time, try to be more and more fluent. I mean, listen to yourself, or listen to those recordings, and just every single day, speak. That's the first tip that I have for you. And the second is to minimize what I said before. Most guys don't speak at all day long, and that's the problem why they're stuck in their head when they're trying to speak to women. So speaking in front of the camera is first of all gonna challenge your belief of just speaking, randomly. It's in front of a camera, so it's still, the stress is actually similar than talking to people. It's actually even more awkward, and you get used to seeing yourself, you get used to seeing your face in front of the camera, you get used to hear your voice. So whenever you speak, you kind of know what sound it's gonna make for other people, because it's not the same as the one you hear, which can be very disturbing. You understand how to speak louder so that people can hear you. And this is pretty much, just a really technical fix. Now, the mindset stuff behind is that you also learn to express yourself freely. You learn to talk about an idea for 1, 2, 3 minutes. Second exercise is literally, instead of speaking in your mind when you're thinking all day long, especially engineers who have codes, who are running many ideas at the same time, who are trying to fix problems, just speak out loud. I'm gonna tell you one thing. That's how I learned English. When I was doing research as a theoretical physicist, obviously I spent a lot of time in my office, and that's pretty much how I learned English. I would verbalize every single thing, read every single thing that I saw on the screen or in the books or polycopies. I would just read it out loud, and I pretty much learned English that way, without any other work. That's it, guys. See you in the next video.